Want to use this one? All right. Get a good seat. We're going to get started. Where's Steve at? Steve Norman, where did he go? Because I want to make sure he'll be here. Yeah, I know. We got lots of. Steve, come on up here a second. Steve, I got to. Who else isn't on this list again now? Do you see anybody that's not on there? Maybe I'll have you come up and announce them because you work with them.
Sure.
Linda Hansen.
Linda Hansen.
There she is. Okay. Why don't you do that one? Because I think you met with them and talked about what. Okay. Okay, we're going to start the meeting and we're going to open in prayer. I'm going to ask Tom Miller to pray for this meeting, if you would. Would you do that, Tom? And we got the live stream going.
Dear Heavenly Father, we do come to you in thanksgiving for this new beautiful day. We just pray, Lord, that you will be here and provide good insight for our meeting, Lord, and let us be directed from your Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, anybody need an agenda and the packet? We have extra packets and the meeting, the minutes from last year are not the correct ones. This is for 2021, but I don't know if anybody wants those to look those over, but that's water under the bridge, so I don't know if we really need to do that. Let's go on to our financial reports, and I want you to take a look at those if you haven't had a chance, and ask questions. Debbie can answer everything you want to know. Give you a couple minutes to look them over, and then if there's no questions, we will.
I have one question.
Yes.
Did I read correctly? Like we have a bunch of money sitting in CDs?
Yes, it's listed on here. So yeah.
My question is, do we have a plan for that, or? Yeah, that's my question.
That's why we're updating things, and we have the money to do these updates that we're doing. And yes, we have over 200,000 in CDs. And we're just updating the property.
Sure. And my knee-jerk reaction to seeing that was like, should we do something with that money other than letting it sit in the bank earning interest? It's prudent, I get it, but at the same time, sometimes I wonder, is there something better we could, let's use it.
Well, people have always talked about redoing the sanctuary. You know, updating, adding on, or doing something. And so, I mean, that's why we're kind of storehousing it maybe, I don't know. But we're at the point now where we are updating the property, much needed. And, yeah, we do have the money there.
Here we go. Okay. So, any other questions? Thank you, Al. He's wondering about how we can spend our money, expand the kingdom. So be thinking about that. Yes. Yeah, and you know, it makes you feel comfortable, but maybe we need to spread our wings a little bit and invest it some. But I think God's been really good to meet the needs of the church. That's a blessing. Okay, any other comments about the financial report? And also review the budgets. The budgets are kind of an ongoing thing that we try to get as close as we can. It takes a few years to figure this out, to see what they should be. So we're getting we're practicing, kind of getting better at it. But we did come out, at the end of the year, we still came out okay, so that's a good thing. And yes. Can I just, yeah, go ahead and, I'm gonna bring another mic out, and Daniel, you're gonna run this over to people. This is the black mic, okay? So people can hear.
Thanks. I'm just wondering about the missions. I don't see how it's divided up. Do we send it to specific missionaries, or is there
Yes, we
an
do. And
overall
yes.
way we do that?
Yeah, Debbie, can you comment?
Yes, our mission fund, 15% of our general offerings go to missions. So that's how the fund is built up. We do support, 8 to 10 missionaries, like with $300 a month. We support them. And then there's a few other trails that we support some too. But yeah, the 15%, that's what goes in. And so we have, like this 8 to 10 specific missionaries that we like to stay in contact with. And we send them $300 a month. So, okay, did that help?
Okay, that's good. Yeah, Ron Bauma, can you take that back to Ron? Yeah.
If you flip over to the general fund year comparisons that Debbie's got in here for us, take a look at the total income over the past years. Our people have been blessed, and our people are sharing and giving. We don't have to go out and beat the bushes and twist arms. That makes it so much easier for the leadership in the church. But we've gone from $259 in 17-18 to $280,000 worth of income. Thank you, people, for being faithful.
Yes, amen.
God is good.
I've been on the board when it wasn't so fun to be on the board. And Donnie knows, I know. Okay, anything else? Any other questions or comments? Motion to accept the financial reports we could do? Okay, a motion to accept the financial reports. Need a second? Second by Fred. That's a good question. So Donnie and then Fred seconded. And any further discussion on the financial reports? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. So here we got just a lineup of all the positions in the church. If you just go down that list, I think you know most of these people. Yeah. I saw it. I did. And if you want those minutes, I'm sure we could make copies of that for you. Debbie has a copy of last year's minutes. Is there anything on there that we should talk about? Can you see anything that?
It was basically just voting in new members and filling the board positions.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, thank you. Back to the current board members, just the list of what we have currently. Mick Scott, Debbie Norman, me, Fred. Go right down. And then we have 3 positions or more that we can fill for the Board of Trustees this year. And these are 3 that have agreed to be on the board. So I guess we can vote on that if you want. Sure. And I think we can just do it verbally if that's okay. The trustee, how many, I think there's like seven right now, and we really can have more. There's no set number, but we could be, I think, probably go up to 12 if we wanted to, but we've kind of stuck to about 7. So Corey Minion, Mike LaPella, Richard Gruntner, I would just say all those in favor of receiving them to be on the board, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, congratulations. Thank you for the board members that are going off. I believe Jonathan is going off. Who else? Anybody else going off this? Brett Hansen. Where are Dave Lovering. Okay. So we're going to vote on new members. I'm going to turn this over to Steve to discuss this, if you would.
So we have these people that have gone through the new membership class, and we've heard their testimonies. We have written testimonies. God has done a mighty work in their lives. We actually have 2 more that are on the new members, have said they want to become new members, and that would be Linda Hansen. She's been on the prayer team, gone through things with Mick on the prayer team. And then Dora Lee Heister. Heisler. She's been playing flute up here with Dave in powerful ministry. It used to be that we would have the new members stand up and give testimonies, you know, and that scared so many people away because they don't like to get up front. You know, it's like elephants running around in their stomach, and they think they're going to die, you know. That's not the case, but so we try to make it a little easier. You know, we've got written testimonies, go through the new membership class, hear the testimonies verbally, and they're good testimonies. They're good people. I've gone through some things and whatnot, and I think they would just be an excellent addition to our body here. And so you see the names, and then you can add Linda Hansen. She's on the prayer ministry, and Dorley Heisler. I got it. Awesome. And she's been playing flute up here on the worship team. And I think all of them would be just, all 8 of them would just be an excellent addition to our body. And so with that, Dave, if it's all right.
I think we have to vote on them. We've received them already, so.
Well, we should vote on it.
I think the idea is, you know, do you want them to leave? I don't want to be any, I don't think there's any verbal vote. Okay, so all those in favor of receiving these folks as members, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, good. That's fine. Just, I don't want anybody embarrassed here. Again, yeah. I think that's a good idea. Okay. Dora Lee, can you stand up and wave? Yeah.
Linda Hansen. Adam McCoy. Bill and Betty are on vacation, so that, you know, they've turned in their written testimonies, but they're on vacation now and gone through the membership class with Pastor and things. So sorry they can't stand up. Carol and Carl Brado, they're gone right now too. Ryan Peterson. And so that would be our new members.
All right. And we also have to affirm the elders. This year it's Ron Bauma and Alan Deers. We do 2 every year. There's a rotation. And we just have to say thumbs up or thumbs down to Alan. And
We love you,
Ron,
Oh, no.
do you want to leave just for a second? You just go someplace that's, yeah. Yeah. So would like to just open it to the floor. Anybody have anything they want to say about anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so all those in favor of affirming Ron and Alan, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Come on back, wherever you are. Go get 'em. This is flowing very well.
You're in, Ron.
Yeah. Congratulations, Ron, you're back in, all right. And Alan, maybe. So,
That's bad. That's cheating.
okay, so there's a few things, FYIs here. Warehouse has got a new floor. You should go over and take a look at it, bounce a pickleball on it, and shoot a few hoops, but it looks really good. And it's in the process of, I think we're pretty much got it paid for, pretty close, right, Debbie? Or we've got funds coming in, we got some grants, and yeah. So that's really good. It's not quite ready for pickleball. Somebody's got to paint the lines on it yet, so. Yeah, Mark, Mark's going to be the first. Mark, if you don't know, Mark had a pickleball accident and he was been out of action. And then just any questions about the landscaping project that's going on? And the grass is finally growing, and we've got a few issues. There's a big hole in the parking lot. We got to figure out what's causing that. Any word on what's going on out there?
It's on the Anderson Brothers list to come back and repair it.
Okay, so they're going to come back, and I think the city's also involved to make sure there's not some kind of a drainage problem there. So don't drive where those markers are on the side of the building. Yeah, I think it's looking good, and another project that we are going to work on, Tom LaPella, before you leave, maybe, is we're going to try to get some things around the cross out there, and just a little, brighten that up a little bit. And we're going to put some benches out eventually so people can sit and look at the river. And yeah, it's going good. The bid on the irrigation came in a little, the price came in a little higher than we had anticipated, but we added quite a bit more lawn to irrigate, so that was it went up at over 10,000 for the project. But I don't know if we got a bill yet for the dirt work that was done. Did we get that? And what's that worth? 7,500. Okay, so we put on a lot of dirt though, didn't we? I don't know, there were 5 or 6 loads of dirt, and that's not cheap stuff. So thank you for everyone. Yes, Penny.
I heard rumor that there's going to be some more opening up to the river.
Yeah.
Is that true, or is that going to happen with the safety issues?
That's a good question. Maybe bring it up here. How many people would be in favor of us putting in some kind of a dock to the river out there? The river's at least 2 feet deep out there, and some people are worried about people drowning. but we live in Minnesota, folks, and I will just say that. And yeah.
I think I was going to take and have a problem with it because of the young people, children and that. There could be a liability on that whole thing.
Okay, so there's also something to think about, the liability that could be there. There's always liability, with swing sets and everything. And I think my thought is if it was, a big drop off out there, but I know that it's pretty shallow, and we should at least toy with the idea. It'd be nice to be able to have some way we can sit by the river, watch it flow by. We're going to do some more work this fall and maybe clear some more grass out, but we're not going to clear it out. It'll come back next spring, but we still want to be able to see the river better than we're getting it right now. But this is a discussion we have to have. Anybody other comments about a dock out here? How many people would be afraid of putting a dock in to the river? Speak up.
I think if we do a dock, it definitely has to be monitored so little kids, because they're always curious. They slip and fall off the dock. Who knows what's going to happen? And that, to me, is a big concern.
Yeah, it is.
Another issue you have to concern yourself with is you have to make sure you put signage on that dock. Make sure that there's no running and jumping off the dock. Otherwise, you're liable insurance-wise.
Sounds good. Richard?
If you're concerned about liability issues, just put a gate at the end of it.
Okay. A gate, that's probably an idea too, so have some kind of a, the one down on the river down here has a fence around it, so it's kind of protected. Tom?
Yeah, I was chatting with Spike, and he had the same concern about the liability thing. And the more I thought about it, you know, parents that are here trying to relax, having coffee, kind of keeping an eye with one eye out, looking at the playground is one thing, but then the fear of one of them wandering off and so on, I tended to agree with him, and I'm thinking that the city's done such a great job of building a place for us to sit and watch the river that maybe, I don't know, I kind of agreed with him.
You're just a party pooper.
And that's just my idea as well. What does the church need a dock for? I mean, really, we can sit all alongside on the ground and just be more safe and just have that sense of that everything's going to be okay. I just think a dock brings on just extra worry.
We could change the name of the church to Dockside, though. That wouldn't be too bad.
Oh, boy. Okay, yeah.
Our son's church has a big fenced-in playground area, and they have 2 parents of children on duty each week, and they're out there, and they have each other to socialize with, but then they're just watching to make sure the kids are safe. So, of course, that's another added volunteer thing, but it's a possibility to keep it safe.
That's a good idea.
And something else to keep in mind, considering what the town does offer, if you've ever sat down there for a very long time, there's a lot of unwholesome stuff that goes on that you really don't want your small kids around.
I will say they've done a beautiful job, but
maintaining that dock through all that vegetation would be really difficult. And then if you're going to take that down every fall so you could see the river, then that would be in the way of mowing that down. So I wouldn't recommend it.
I think so far I'm getting a feeling that it's not. That's right. Okay. So, well, there you go. Denny, where's Denny? We could have duck hunting classes out back here. Talk about liability there. Okay, so those are good. Those are good comments, and I think we'll definitely take those into consideration. I don't know if you've noticed, but we do have extended Wi-Fi services in here. We had a young man come in, and so almost anywhere you're in the church now, you should be able to pick up a signal, so that's good. The other good thing is the live stream's been working the last couple weeks, and the words are showing up on the screen, I understand, so that's good. New online donation website, and has that been made? People are aware of that in the bulletin, and you can again donate online if you want to do that. We have some new business that we should discuss. I think there's another thing on here too, but we are contemplating putting in a divider in the big room in the Life Center, so we get another room possibility there. If you didn't know, the Life Center is becoming quite the place for meetings, and it's just a busy place. People are looking for places to meet, and the rooms are full so often they want to add another room, and so we'd put a divider in, kind of like the one down in the activity center. Al, do you want to? Debbie's actually done some research on the pricing for this wall. It depends how much soundproofing you want. It's more expensive for the more soundproofing. I think the ceiling is there some structural things that we have to do? But it looks like the divider, I think, what was the price range? About $8,000 for the. Okay, so it's about a $10,000 to $12,000 project. And we just think it would add another place for people to meet. I don't know if you guys realize how hard it is for people to find a place to meet with groups. And we've got, how many spaces there? We got 5 or 6 spaces that they could come and use it. And it's just, it's really a blessing for a community. And we thank you, Sharon, and all the people that have made that place just a wonderful place to be. It's been a really good thing. And if you looked at the financials, slowly we're starting to see a little bit of a turnaround on the profit there, but that's not really why we have that building up there. We're there to serve the community, and but things are going good.
You know, Dave, I find it nice how there are people are allowed to use the warehouse if they need to too. I mean,
Yeah, that's good. Sharon, do you have any comments about that up there? Anything you want to say about the wall? The wall? Yeah, give her the microphone back there.
Well, there's it's in the largest conference room, and most groups can fit in the first part of it where the larger tables are. And so the space that we're considering is where the windows are at. And yeah, we've had to turn people down. Tuesday seems to be a popular time to meet there, and we even use the basement for CR, so it's not just so we're moving people downstairs. The only problem is in the winter time, there's elderly groups that want to, and going up and down those steps just is not a possibility for a lot of groups, as much as they appreciate the room down there. And then to come in from the outside, it's kind of slippery and a little dangerous for the more elderly people that meet. So yeah, we're turning people down and running out of room on a weekly basis with having that. So it would be really appreciated, and the community would be really appreciative of that. And it's not just us that uses it, it's the community. And if you look in your bulletin, where is most of those meetings located? The Life Center. So, so anyways, it's would be much appreciated. And if you have any questions, be more than happy to answer them for you. Yes, Penny.
Okay, Penny?
Would the video equipment be set up in that half of the room as well?
That may, it depends on if they want, most of the large groups that are meeting in the first part.
Can you talk into a mic so people on the live stream can...
Most of those groups that meet in that first half do not use our video equipment. I think our Bible study is the only one that uses the video equipment, and there's nobody there with ours. And then we can adjust and move one group over to where the video is, although we'd have to change where we start and stop and do all that. So there'd be a little bit of adjustment, but I don't think it'd be anything major.
The sound issue between two rooms would be the problem for that.
Yeah, and we would want to keep it as soundproof as we can, so yeah.
So you're saying go for the soundproofing?
I think the groups would appreciate that, yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
to invest in it. Okay, Charlie.
I don't know if this is an Al question, but if the coffee shop is already booked with groups, the entrance into that new room would be through another group's area? Are you thinking of the fireplace room?
Yeah, and you go into those double.
Yeah, the fireplace room is one of those rooms, though, that people use.
They go through, they don't necessarily. When you meet in the fireplace room, the other room, we tell them that it's not going to be totally private, because we have refrigerators and things back in there that we have to get our supplies. And so any group that meets in there, they know, we tell them that there could be people. And then there's that back corner room where groups meet. So the fireplace room is like, it can be kind of private, but anybody that meets there, we make it very clear that there's people coming through.
Is there a fee for renting?
we just are saying is we appreciate donations. And so many people are very good about donating, and they usually end up donating more than what we would have asked for that too. And I don't know if you're going to share a room. It's like, I'm going to share this building with you, but it's going to cost you. I mean, that doesn't sound to me like sharing, or, you know, it's like, yeah, we're going to let the community use the building, but it'll cost you to use it, you know, type thing.
By the way, that's for you. Somebody gave it to me. So.
Hey, Dave, I have a question for Charlie. Is there something you guys charge as far as using the warehouse, or no? Okay. I just wasn't sure if they...
Any other questions? Donnie?
I just want to comment. I want to thank the church for, I'm involved with Violent Blood Drive. It's been tremendous. I know the feedback is tremendous, the use of that, and I know the staff always really appreciates it. I just want to thank you very much. We got one coming up a week from this Tuesday. So.
Okay. Do you have openings still? Or? Check, yeah, blood drive coming up. Okay, good. Anybody else? Any comments on the proposal to put a wall in the Life Center? Need a motion? Yeah, Hillary, go ahead and.
What about those steps going from the fireplace room to the big room?
Was there one step there? Is there
I have seen people stumble on that.
So we need to market better, is kind of what you're saying?
I think so. So it has to be taken care of if you're going to split and have the people go in through that door.
Okay, good point, Lori. We'll work on marking that better, or having some way to, because it kind of blends in, doesn't it? So
yes,
you don't
it does.
see it. Yeah.
I'm one of the clumsy klutzes.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to have any broken hips there, that's for sure.
Thank goodness.
Okay, anybody else? Any comments? Yeah.
I know some of the issues brought up were, for me, sometimes I think of an accordion wall as not being ideal if another group's meeting on the other side. And we mentioned, too, that the entrance would be through another room. I recognize that's not ideal. So I'm just acknowledging this isn't a perfect solution. And sometimes I think, well, for groups getting a free room, they can be understanding that this isn't perfect. But I also recognize that the two Sharons that are working there, in their opinion, this would be a benefit. And so I guess I'm deferring to their judgment on this. And so if it were me doing it, I'd be like, I don't know if I would do it. But I recognize they feel it is. And so I'm deferring to their judgment on this one, personally.
Want to keep Sharon happy. Okay, so I need a motion to go ahead with this project. If Rich, we have Rich Grutner with a motion. Don Norman as a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, very good. There was some concrete work. Do we have to vote on that?
One other item that didn't make it on the meeting notes there is some concrete work that we feel should be considered. And so I got a quote on it. The concrete work consists of sidewalk sections. The first section is between the church and the parsonage. There's a driveway going to the garage. And alongside the driveway next to the church is a sidewalk going from the office entry to the back stairs. The concrete's still all intact, but over the years it's settled, and now it is angled toward the building. Yep. And so we do get water coming off a good section of that roof, and it wants to flow against the building, which is the library and mission storage and kitchen. So that, I would say, is the priority. It needs to be done. Over time, it's going to cause water damage. Two other smaller sections are directly behind the church, between the church and the playground. Again, part of that sidewalk has the same issue. It's pitched towards the building. I would not say that's quite as severe since it's next to an at-grade slab in the building, but we still get some water going under there. It's not as bad because that sidewalk stays shoveled. but that's another portion of sidewalk that is settled. Lastly, on the east entrance, there's a smaller section, like a 5-foot section that's got a big crack and has settled. That is not a water issue as much as it's a trip hazard. There's a really big lip there. So those 3 sections, I recommend, need to be removed and replaced. We got one bid from a local contractor. It's a little over $6,000 for removal and pouring the new concrete. They did say that if we want to do any of the demolition and removal, which is about half of that cost, they're fine with that. But like I said, removal and also repouring is about, they gave us a bid for $6,400. So, and like I say, if a group of people are like, hey, I'd be interested in working on the demolition and removal, great. But they quoted a price of $2,900 for removing all that concrete. And to me, that seems like a decent deal just because all the sidewalks are pinned against the building or against asphalt, which makes for more work when you're trying to break concrete out. Penny?
Would addressing the 2 by the kitchen include improving so you don't have to open the cabinet doors under the sinks every winter?
No, that's more of just a heat issue. Just the location of that, you're against an exterior wall. You don't really get any heat in there. So that would be a separate issue. Rich?
Just an idea you can possibly, as you take those sidewalks out, put styrofoam down in underneath to increase the insulation there so that those walls are warmer rather than the frost going down. So you could potentially, in replacing that sidewalk, solve that issue to some degree.
Good point.
Sure.
Good point, Rich, yep. Right.
Yeah. It won't solve the problem, but it'll help. You have pipes on an exterior wall in Minnesota is the issue right there. It's just, it's a practice you try to avoid if possible, but it's not always possible. The other thing too, this quote I had was not guaranteed it would be able to be done this year. It was a maybe. So, any thoughts? Otherwise, I'd ask to make a motion on this. Rich makes a motion to go forward with this project? Yes. Second? Mr. Mark, right? Mark's Novotny seconds it. All in favor? Opposed? Sounds good. I'll check with them.
Okay, Fred's got something to bring up. Is there any?
That's it, yeah. I was a little negligent. I should have gotten this on the agenda, but Randy and I, and who was it, Carl Brado, were up on this roof. And it's in bad shape. I think we're going to have to look at replacing not replacing the roof, but replacing the foam up there. And it's starting to show some, where there have been trees, grass is growing up there and stuff. It's growing right through the foam, actually, and making holes in the roof. And so that's something that we should be looking at here real soon to replace. I think I mentioned it to Steve, too, yeah. Oh, you do, Dale? Okay. No, I should have known you'd be way ahead of it, so. Okay, very good. Yeah, that's all I need.
We were kind of thinking of using the trees that were growing up there out in front here, but we decided that wouldn't be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a quick comment. The verse where it says, where there is no vision that people perish, I just want to thank the people of this church, you know, starting out as an old guy in this part of the building, and that was it. And then there was the warehouse, and there were people with doubts, there were people with optimism. And look at where it has got us in the community. And then really crazy to buy on Main Street. And if you really think about what is really needed, is discipleship for Christians. And that building over there has accomplished more for the Lord in the time I've seen it. And I guess I drink a lot of coffee, so I'm there quite a bit. But I just say thank you to all the ladies and men with they had to have the name S, or the letter S starting their name. You know, there was Sean and Scott and so on. So I just gave them all the name with an S in front of it, but I just thank the Lord for all those workers.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and, you know, we're open to anybody that has ideas of ministries or anything that you might see that we could do or that you feel led to bring up. We certainly want to, and obviously during our transition here, we're really looking for lots of people to step up and maybe do things that you don't feel comfortable doing even. So,
just wondering if we could have from time to time an update on pastoral search, where that whole process is. Thank you.
I can speak to that a little bit. We, of course, we have Dan Nichols as our interim pastor, which he fills the pulpit on Sunday, and Pastor Mick filling the pulpit. We have Chad filling the pulpit as time goes on. Through the school year, will be Dan Nichols will be the interim pastor, and Pastor Mick will be doing pulpit. We are continually looking for senior pastor, and we've had people apply. We've had some really good leads, and of course, people that we're interested in just can't jump into the pulpit. They're serving churches too, and so it's a logistics thing, a timing thing, waiting on God, seeing who He's really going to be bringing around. If you follow the E-Freeze guidelines, an interim pastor is not eligible to be a pastor.
That's true.
And the reason for that is because you start liking them and you say, oh, okay, let's vote him in. And with that mentality, you might be missing the pastor that God really has planned for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you go back and you look at some things in Scripture, King David was anointed to be king, but it took 13 years before he sat on the throne. Moses knew that he was to lead the people out of Egypt, but that took 40 years to happen. We don't want those timelines at all, you know. But at the same time, we need to be patient on God's leading, guiding, and directing. We've been talking to people, actively searching, continually praying for who God will bring our way, and this interim phase, this transition, is interesting to me and actually exciting. I don't get excited about much stuff, but it's exciting to see how God is moving, guiding, and directing, and we don't know who He's really going to put in our pulpit here to really shepherd us. But during this transition, we as a body, I think, are growing, and we definitely need more members to get volunteer, help to step up, take an active role, and I think that's how our body will grow. This, being a lighthouse in the community will grow as we continue to function and expand without a senior pastor. A lot of people look at that and they marvel, how does that really happen? Well, that's by God leading, guiding, and directing, and us as a body being sensitive to that leading, guiding, and directing, and being patient to see how God will move and act. Any other questions?
I have a question, Steve. Is it true we're going to have Dan for like 9 months or no?
Yeah, through the school year.
Sounds good. Okay.
Is he going to be available for pastoral duties? I mean, like, if you need to talk to the pastor, is he going to be available? Is he just preaching Sunday morning?
That's Nick.
The question was, is Dan just preaching Sunday morning or available for pastoral duties? It's pretty much, he's preaching for Sunday mornings.
Yep.
He can possibly do some funerals, maybe even some weddings. But for counseling, that would be either the elders or Pastor Mick along those lines.
Yep.
So, this isn't rocket science or anything, but I would just encourage us all to pray. To pray for whoever is going to come, that they would love the Lord and that they would have a deep love for us. And for us, that we would love the Lord and we would have a deep love for each other and them. Like, I mean, that's just kind of what we need, right? So, that's all.
I've got a ministry that I would like to be nominated for. It's for community, and it's called Fleeing to Florida for February. I can do this with you all. No? Fleeing to Florida for February.
No, no. Yeah, so that's about all we have, I guess, for, yeah. Deb.
One question the board always has when we have a board meeting is how much is the board approved to spend without bringing it to the congregation? And I guess if it's new projects that cost quite a bit, you know, I will bring that to the congregation. But what about just maintenance projects? You know, we're going to get this roof done. Is the board approved to spend, you know, $5,000, $10,000 without bringing it to the congregation? So if you guys want to set a limit as to what the board that you have elected can spend, make sense?
Do we have a number right now? I think we did have a number at one time, but inflation has hit, and it's probably not nearly high enough. But, you know, things that need to get done, I'm sure you guys would be in support of roofing, for one. You know, we need to fix roofs. But what do you think, right? I think 10 sounds good, you know. But I do kind of like the idea that we get together once in a while, too. It's kind of neat that we can have everybody. But maybe would 10 or 12,000 sound like a number that you could live with? Maybe we should vote on it here. If somebody make a motion, or what do you think? Maybe, yeah, Donnie.
Well, I do believe we just going through kind of a mess over there where I'm at. And basically, well, what happened is there really was no, some of us consider there really was no, what should we say? They only got one bid. And basically, it comes out wrong in the end. It don't fit good, basically. Yeah.
So what do you, is that a comment just about?
I think we should, let's say maybe in today's real world here, maybe 15,000 maybe, or something like that. But I do think it would be wise to do that.
So Donnie made a motion for 15,000.
Yes.
Right? Okay. 15,000? Tom, second, and we'll discuss it now. Jenny, go ahead. Did you want to second or discuss?
Does that include, I know you're always good at getting more than one bid, but just a requirement that there be at least 2 or 3 bids or something like that too, possibly, Don? Would that be something you'd consider for that motion?
Would you add that with an idea that we would at least get 2 bids for everything that we do? Okay, I think that we can throw that into the motion. Is good. Yeah, Dan.
I guess I'd clarify and modify that. I mean, if it's a $15 repair to get 2 bids, we should put a limit of, just a thought, if it's up to, if it's up to so much, 1 is fine, but 2 bids or more if it's over X. Just a thought.
maybe we could say as a board, if it's over 5,000, that we'll get 2 bids on, and under that, we can just find, sometimes it's just a matter of finding someone that will do it, so. But yeah, I like that. So the motion is, and second, the motion, just so we understand, 15,000 for the board to vote on without bringing it to the congregation, and if it's above 5,000, to get 2 bids at least.
I think one of the things we just did with our trustees voting in these gentlemen, they have the knowledge to know if it's a good bid or bad bid. And so I feel confident in letting the board decide on some of these things versus bringing just huge major things that the body should know about.
Okay, Craig?
While I feel that we have the right people to make these decisions, I agree with what Dave said in that it's nice to get together. Maybe it's also in that realm, it might be good to get opinions, ask around, at least get a feeling from the body itself before they make the decision. It's fine to make the decision, but it's also good to have input from the body.
I think that's good that we, as board members, talk to people. Yep. Before, yes, Sharon. Get my 10,000 steps here.
To me, I think there's a difference between maintenance and a new build also. So, because maintenance is a little more urgent, or can be urgent, where a new build like the wall in the coffee house is not urgent. So I don't know if there should be a difference between maintenance and a new build for people to vote.
It depends on much, again, sometimes a new build might be 1,000 and sometimes it might be more, right?
Can we modify the what was the motion made in that if it's capital improvements, buying a piano or whatever, things like that, or the wall, that those go before the congregation?
A certain amount, do you think? You're saying for everything? Because I might need a few mics to buy, And, well, they're actually not too bad, but you don't want to let me loose too much on this. But I think, yeah, I don't know. That's a good, for the board, it's just, and again, I'd like to meet, these meetings are kind of fun because we get to be with each other, but I don't know.
Let's keep it simple. Not overly complicated.
Yeah. So being part of not overly complicating things, sometimes it's not super easy to get multiple bids. For instance, concrete, it's over $5,000. It's going to be hard to get another concrete contractor to even answer the phone. Sometimes it's difficult. Everybody's busy. So maybe within reason of maybe there should be some stipulation whether we need a second bid or not.
I guess that's why we vote on board members. We trust their judgment in their, and we have men and women that know what things should cost, and so maybe there is a little bit of. I'm going to go Ron first. Then.
Yeah, I'd like to reinforce what Corey is saying there. And remember, your low bid isn't always the best bid, so don't require the board to be tied to the low bid. The quality and reputation of the contractor is the most important. Also, if it can be done with other Christians, I think we've got to take that into place. And we're experiencing tough times to get contractors to do things. So I would like to put more trust in the board. For example, we've got Jared on there. He's pricing construction things all the time. That's an important part of knowledge there. I ran my business for 30 years. It was all negotiated work. It was they had a firm price, but I didn't chase projects that I had a bid against 6 other contractors. I didn't like to waste my time on that. So keep in mind the reputation and don't tie the board to the low bid.
Yeah.
And adding, right, and adding to that, like for the simplicity of music, I mean, there's a budget. There's a budget for the worship team, $3,100. It's like, we trust them, you know, the lead of that, to spend. What's so? What? Oh.
Dave doesn't stay in this budget.
But, but for with that, I mean, so we should have a, you know, if it's going to cost like for a huge new piano and we need that, okay, we maybe should bring that to a meeting, but some of the basics, yeah, you know.
Trust them.
Okay, Penny.
My thought when I brought it up wasn't to limit it to a $5,000 bid. It was to say whatever the bid, the limit, that $15,000, anything over that should have 2 bids. I wasn't thinking of having it be for less than what we agreed on.
Pat, do you want to say anything more? We always like to hear the wisdom. Yeah, no,
No, we do have to trust our board, but we like to know what they're doing also, so.
thanks, that's good wisdom, and yeah.
So do you want to ask Penny to modify it for?
What do you want to, should we go back?
Gotta ask Donnie.
Don, can we go to 15,000 and leave it up to the board about the bids? Yes. Would that be okay? Good. Okay, okay, so let's vote on it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Good, that's how it works. Yes, Shirley.
Just one thing, it's really nice. It's really nice. I know that the board goes around, maybe talks to certain key people, but us that aren't key, we like to know what's going on too. And I think it would be nice to be, some kind of a little thing online or just something in the bulletin so everybody keeps posted.
Yeah, we really want to keep people involved and know what we're doing. We don't want to hide stuff. So, yeah, and definitely come and talk to us too if you have questions. We got the elders and the phone numbers, and we are. Yeah, we'll look. Yeah, and on Sunday mornings too, we'll try to keep current with what's going on. So. Oh, thank you, Mike. The motion, a second. Second, okay. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.